Hey my lovelies, I hope you are doing well and that this video finds you happy and healthy. This week, I'm sharing a few of my tricks to keep a regular working schedule to get things done. As you know, my deadline for the Brooklyn project is in August. So how do I make sure everything is done by then? Well, the first thing I do is write down a list of everything that needs to be done. So in my case, all the illustrations that need to be painted, all the text that needs to be written, and then all the work I need to do on the computer to bring it all together. Once that's done, I make my way to a calendar and start removing time. In this instance, the deadline is August 15. Because of postal services or delays, I'm counting 3 weeks before that to make sure my project gets there in time. My new deadline is now July 24th. So now, depending on what your project is and how fast you work, you need to consider how much time you need to complete each item on your to-do list. For me, I can usually paint 2 to 4 illustrations per week. For this particular project, considering that there are 34 illustrations, it means that I will need anywhere from 9 to 17 weeks to complete my images. I then calculate the other time ranges for the other items on my list. With that in mind, I go back to my calendar, and starting from my due date, I go back to figure out when I need to get started. Ideally, your start date is not in the past, but in the near future. If, however, your start date is in the past, you need to see if you can change your due date, which you usually can't, or produce more work per week. This is what I had to do, and my aim is now to produce 4 illustrations per week or more, which is a lot, which means that I pay extra attention to take breaks and avoid burnout or exhaustion. Which brings me to this little cute cranky lady. Let me introduce you to my cat. My camera skipped a beat, and so I didn't have part of what I filmed, but this little cranky lady was there. We got her 6 years ago at the shelter, and she is now 15 years old. How adorable is she? Alright, back to the video. One thing that I really like to do is use post-its to visually see what's done and what's left to do. In this case, I prepare post-its with page numbers, and each time I'm done with the picture, it gets stuck with a corresponding post-it. That way, I know where I'm at and I know where each picture is going. I also recommend that you check your progress weekly and make sure you are still on track. By doing this regularly, you avoid realizing that you fell behind before it's too late. Finally, I really encourage you to use an agenda or a date book to list the things that need to be done. I usually do this on Sunday nights and then take things off as I'm done. It's really satisfying to see your list get smaller and smaller and smaller. Of course, if things don't get done, don't beat yourself up. Reflect on what took more time, then readjust the following week. With time, I learned to write just the right number of things on my to-do list, and I'm sure you will too. I hope this was useful and that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please share, like, subscribe, write me a nice comment in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.